With 1.2 coming closer and closer every single day, we have more new details, also to be taken with a hint of salt, of course. We have more new details to discuss about, and also there's another thing I want to say, because I know y'all, my subscribers, some of y'all are really stubborn. Y'all don't know what I mean when I say save, okay? So I know some of you are gonna summon on these banners, and honestly, I'm here to tell you, which banner should you summon on? Albedo or GANYU? Which is better, and which would you gain more on, right? So we're gonna go ahead and discuss that in this video because of my stubborn subscribers. I love you though. I really love you. Thank you for the recent support as well. But anyway, guys, we're gonna go over that in today's video. But before we even start this video, if you are new to the channel, make sure to smash that subscribe button down below. Join the subscribers on the grind to 1,500. Guys, I can't believe I'm saying this. Join the subscribers on the grind to 1,500. Please, you won't regret it. I love you, and I appreciate you if you hit that subscribe button down below. Also, smash that like button. You're going to enjoy this content. But without further ado, let's go ahead and get into today's video. Okay, first things first. Shout out Nep. This is basically 1.2, like I said. A couple of more details about it. Recently we had the banner, which was I'm gonna put it at the end of the video, the 1.2 update, the new 1.2 update information. Well, now we have basically a possibility of the featured up units in the banner, right? So here's how it's probably going to look, right? We have Albedo, which is gonna have Rosaria as the new unit, and then it's gonna have Fischl and Bennett as a featured unit. So what I'm thinking is that's actually really good because of how good Fischl is for DPS and support, and then Bennett is just overall constellation for Bennett will be such a plus for him for sure, right? And then we also have GANYU's banner, which has Hu Tao. If I'm pronouncing that wrong, I am sorry. So basically the new featured unit, and then we have Barbara and Sucrose, which is really good because those are two really good supports, right? So these banners are looking really clean, but at the same time, which one should you go for? Also, if you have not seen, this is Rosaria, right here, and this is Hu Tao. These are both pole arm users, by the way, which makes it extremely cool because we literally don't have a lot of pole arms in the game. We only have Zhongling, and we also have Zhongli. That's all we have as pole arm users in this game. So it's cool to get more, a cryo pole arm user as well as a pyro pole arm user. And yeah, so this is going to be really cool. But which banner should you summon on? Which banner? Albedo or GANYU? Which is more profitable? Well, in my opinion, what seems more profitable is probably going to be Albedo's banner because of the Fischl Bennett as featured up units. But at the same time, Barbara and Sucrose are really good as well, so we cannot sleep on them. So at this point, it's a matter of which unit is like of your preference, or which unit is better, which one you want. Do you want cryo? Do you want geo? So let's go ahead and talk about that, right? But before we do, actually, I just want to put out that people are saying, or Nep said maybe that Albedo was going to be the first banner of 1.2, and basically December 23rd, Albedo's banner will come out. Now, I wouldn't see MiHoYo doing this. Like, people in the comment section are also saying this. I wouldn't see MiHoYo putting out a Geo character, right after a Geo character. We just got Zhongli, so they're just gonna, if they shoot out another Geo character, which is Albedo, that would be kind of crazy and bonkers. I wouldn't imagine that, but it probably is going to happen. But hopefully, it most likely doesn't, and we get the GANYU banner first, because GANYU is definitely a unit that everybody is anticipating, and it's mainly, she is a good unit, don't get me wrong, but mainly you all are anticipating her because she is your waifu, and you are a simp. So it's that simple, right? So anyway, I want to go over these units overall, and at the end, basically, let you know which one you should most likely or inevitably summon for. Okay guys, here we have GANYU, right? This is the character that everybody wants. She is a bow cryo user, and she is one of the craziest beautiful characters in the game, right? And also another thing to note about her is that on her ascension level, she goes up by cryo damage. And not only cryo damage, as you can see, it's up to 38.4%, which is a lot of cryo damage. Now, I've seen Ayaka's cryo damage multipliers on her Ascension, and she only goes to about 22.8, I believe, or 22.8 or 28.8, one of those. But for GANYU to go to 38.4, that is insane. She's gonna honestly, and then with the sets that are coming in 1.2, I'm actually gonna make a build for GANYU once the character drops, or I'm probably just gonna make a build right after this video for GANYU, because we're getting new artifacts in 1.2 for cryo characters, right? Which is going to be extremely cool. Cryo characters and hydro characters, I believe. So having that is going to be really useful. GANYU is going to have a really good build with that, because since she's based off of cryo damage on her Ascension level up, she's going to be able to have that, and then the artifacts that boost her cryo, and then the passive of the 4-piece artifact. And it's just going to be insane. It's going to be monstrous, right? So we'll make that build for another video, but stay tuned for that. That is going to be absolutely insane. GANYU, I feel like everybody, this is one of those characters everybody's going to sleep on just because she's literally a 5-star Amber, people are saying. Well, I do agree at some point, but at the same time, she is a 5-star at most, right? She is a 5-star. We've seen her attacks, we've seen her animations, we've seen her passives. Let's just go over this unit. This unit is not Amber in any way, guys. Just realize this unit is a whole new unit. You should, like, when you see this, you should take Amber out of your head, right? So here we go right here, which is the elemental skill called Trail of the Keelan, where she leaves a single ice lotus behind, and GANYU dashes backward, shunning all impurity and dealing AoE cryo damage. The ice lotus will continuously taunt surrounding enemies, attracting them to attack it. Endurance scales based on GANYU's max HP. So the more HP you have, the more endurance this ice lotus is going to have. Now that does not mean build her based off of HP. You already know. And this blooms profusively when destroyed or once its duration ends, dealing AoE cryo damage. Boom. That is just like Amber's, guys. I mean, really, these are just like Amber's attacks, except, you know, GANYU. That's really about it. Celestial Shower. Coalesces atmospheric frost and snow to summon a sacred cryo pearl that exercises evil. Right? I'm pretty sure you've seen. I showed her animations where she literally does this thing and she puts a pearl in the sky, basically. And then while she has that pearl in the sky, during its ability duration, the sacred cryo pearl will continuously rain down shards of ice, striking enemies within an AoE, dealing cryo damage. Now this sets up for a lot. This actually, her elemental burst sets up for a lot as well, especially with reactions and whatnot. And since she is based off of cryo, she's going to do a lot of cryo damage. This will be very beneficial, especially when you have shatter and whatnot. So anyway, let's go over her passives, right? This is her map passive, refunds 15% of the ores when crafting bow type weapons. But here are both of her, you know, in-game, you know, fighting passives, right? We have the Undivided Heart. After firing a Frostflake arrow, the crit rate of the subsequent Frostflake arrow and their resulting bloom effects is increased by 20% for 5 seconds. You're probably saying, wait, what is a Frostflake arrow? Well, if you did not know, on her normal attack, she basically has a skill, literally. You have a charge level 1, which fires off an icy arrow that deals cryo damage. You know, like how you charge Child's bow, right? Boom, hydro damage. And sometimes when you charge his bow, boom, you could hit one of those debuffs on them, right? Well, she can do something similar. She fires off an icy arrow that deals cryo damage for level 1, but on level 2, she fires off a Frostflake arrow that deals cryo damage, and the Frostflake arrow blooms after hitting its target, dealing AoE cryo damage. So it's sort of like a debuff, just like Child. So that's really cool that they're implementing this on more archers in this game, or more bow users in this game. It's really cool. So let's talk about that with the passive. As you can see, after firing a Frostflake arrow, the crit rate of the next arrow and their resulting bloom effect is increased by 20% for 5 seconds. So we're gonna have more crit rate on the next shot, basically, and this is for 5 seconds. So that's basically like the cool. I'm not sure you can stack this. You're probably not gonna be able to stack this, because if you could stack it, that would make it really, really, really overpowered. So what I'm thinking is, boom, you fire a Frostflake, boom, the crit rate of the next Frostflake you fire, boom, plus 20%. So your crit rate is gonna go up even more. You might crit. You know what I'm saying? You have that for 5 seconds. What if you try again? Boom. It's not. I don't think it's gonna stack. Yeah. So that is. It should. I feel like they should put that if it stacks. I think that's very important to know. because some people want to know, like, yeah, is that going to stack, or are you just going to be able to do that once? But I'm pretty sure you're only going to be able to do this once, where you're literally just going to increase by 20% for 5 seconds. But either way, the crit rate being increased on a cryo user is good, because like I said, a cryo user plus crit rate is broken, especially if you have a Hydro on the team for shatter comp, and then, you know, crit rate and crit damage comp. That is just broken. I feel like that's like one of the most broken builds in this game overall to this day, right? So let's go on to her next passive as well, right? Harmony between heaven and earth. Celestial Shower grants a 20% cryo damage bonus to active party members in the AoE. So you're getting a 20% cryo damage bonus, right? And I'm pretty sure this applies to her. So putting her in there, right? Getting this 20% cryo damage bonus. Getting a cryo damage bonus from the artifact set that will be released in 1.2 Dragon Spine. Getting the cryo bonus from her ascension levels. You're gonna have tons of cryo damage you're gonna be throwing on the field. That's why this character is going to be really, really good. I feel like cryo is an extremely good element in this game for its diversity and what it can do with melt and freeze and all that. It's just absolutely broken. Super conduct, I feel like those are the greatest, because melt does tons of damage, right? Freeze has shatter damage, and the super conduct decreases the physical res of your enemy. So I feel like she's going to be universal for support and DPS, depending on how you want to run her. And she's looking like a DPS for all the cryo damage she could do. But up to you how you want to run her, up to you how you want to build her. I'm going to make a video on how I'm going to build her and how you probably most of you should build her. So y'all stay tuned for that. We're going to have to make some research on her percentages and everything and see what the best build would be and whatnot. But yeah, that is basically GANYU and what I think about her. She's actually a good unit. And so let's go ahead and go over Albedo, and then we will see which unit you should actually summon for, GANYU or Albedo. Here we have Albedo, which is our second Geo character of the month. Guys, he is a sword type, and he is also anticipated. Everybody is like, you know, on their not on their knees, on their tippy toes waiting for these characters. So, like I said, I don't know what they're gonna do about that. Like, is he gonna be the first banner? I don't think you should, because we just got a Geo element, which was Zhong Li. Like, Rex Lapis, bro. We don't need another Geo character right now. It's not what we're looking for. Please put GANYU first. That's what I'm hoping they do. GANYU is the first banner. So as you can see on his multipliers for Ascension, he gets Geo damage up to 28.8%. And that's another thing to note. Like I said, Ayaka's cryo damage went up to 28.8% as well. But the difference between GANYU and these guys is she went up to 34.8, which makes me believe that she's going to do tons of cryo damage. She's going to be a really good cryo damage DPS unit, and that is without a doubt, especially with the crit rate, as the crit rate she gets from her passive from doing a Frosty Flake in subsequent. So that's going to be just, it's going to be insane. That's why I'm saying GANYU's going to be broken. You guys are sleeping on her. She's not going to, y'all think she's going to be a bad unit. Y'all will see once she comes out, y'all will see, okay? So we have his normal attack. It's just normal, basically. Charge attack takes stamina. And then we have his Abiogenesis Solar Isotama. Albedo creates a Solar Isotama using Alchemy, which deals AoE Geo damage on appearance. The Solar Isotama has the following properties. When the enemies within the Solar Isotama field take damage, the Solar Isotama will generate transient blossoms, which basically deal AoE damage. The damage scales based off of Albedo's defense, so the more defense you have on your character, the more damage these blossoms are going to do, right? And that does not mean build him with just defense, guys. Transient blossoms can only be generated once every 2 seconds, which is a really good cooldown, not too long. When a character is located at the lotus of a Solar Isotama, the Solar Isotama will accumulate Geo power to form a crystallized platform that lifts the character up to a certain height. Only one crystallized platform can exist at a time. So guys, I showed you the footage of this like a while ago. Basically, he literally puts a little flower out, and when there is a lotus, and when there's an enemy near you, you can go onto it and it'll lift you up, which sets you up for plunge damage, which plunge damage is really good. As you can see, this is the plunge damage percent. You can see how high they are, or how high they actually go, which is absolutely insane, like I said. So that's going to be very useful, especially for, like, you know, taking less damage, I guess. It's going to be very, very, very useful. That's what I feel like. It's going to also be a very, you know, universal elemental skill where you can use on the map, like to get, you know, say for example you haven't gotten all your Geoculus or Animoculus. You can definitely use this to go up and get those, right? So, And you can also hold this skill to put it in a certain location. And it's similar to how Fischl can hold her bird and put it in a similar location, right? And this is considered a Geo construct. So we have his elemental burst now, which is right of the progenitor Tectonic Tide. Under Albedo's command, Geo crystals surge and burst forth, dealing AoE Geo damage in front of him. If a solar isotama is created by Albedo himself is on the field, 7 fatal blossoms will be generated in the solar isotama's field, bursting violently into bloom and dealing AoE Geo damage. Tectonic Tide damage and fatal blossom damage will not generate transient blossoms. I keep saying bloms. Okay, so what this means, guys, is say for example, before you do your elemental burst, right? If you have a solar isotama, which is your elemental skill, if you have that on the field, right? As soon as you do your elemental burst, it's going to produce 7 fatal blossoms. And once you produce those 7 fatal blossoms, as you do know, the damage of the blossoms when they explode is based off of his defense. So the more defense you have, the more damage that's going to do, right? So 7 fatal blossoms come to the field, right? And then you do your elemental burst. Well, you do your elemental burst, then 7 fatal blossoms come to the field. Then boom, all of them blow up, and then you're getting the damage from your elemental burst. You're getting the damage from the fatal blossoms. As you can see right here, elemental burst damage can go up really high, up to 800%. I can't hold up, 872% at level 15, and each blossom can do up to 171% damage of damage each. So guys, what we're looking at basically is a extreme nuke. His multipliers are extremely high. He does an AoE. He's going to basically, if you have his solar isotama on the field and do AoE on his elemental burst, he's gonna create 7 of these blossoms, and they're gonna just blow up everything. 872.1% damage on level 15 for his elemental burst, 171% each blossom, right? Each blossom, and there's 7, guys. So he's going to literally nuke. He's going to be a nuking character. I'm pretty sure he is definitely going to be really good for Abyss, and I feel like he is. They're really making. They outdid themselves with this unit. This unit is going to be really good, really good. And also another thing to note is that his energy cost is 40. So that's kind of crazy, since normally we have a 60. There's 60 energy cost. That's really crazy. And also his cooldown for his elemental skill is 8 seconds. And I'm pretty sure if you hold it, it probably is a little bit longer. But no, you shouldn't, because it's only the location of the skill. It's not like it's actually augmentating the skill. So yeah, it's only 8-second cooldown on his elemental skill, which is absolutely broken, right? So this makes him really valuable. And yeah, this is gonna be extremely good. Now we have his passives. We have his map passive, which we don't care about. Now we have the Calcite Might. Transient blossoms generated by a biogenesis solar isotama deal 25% more damage to enemies whose HP is below 50%. That is broken. So once you unlock this, basically, like I said, you've seen the multipliers on his elemental burst, and then also the transient blossoms, the 7 blossoms that come once you do his elemental burst, right? So what we're looking at is basically, if they're below 50% HP, that is it. They're dead. They're not gonna survive. It's gonna do 25% more damage, and that damage is definitely gonna be bonkers. I feel like this character definitely should be built around some type of Geo, since he is, even though his ascension is Geo. His ascension is Geo damage. So I feel like he should be built around some type of Geo damage build. We will make a build for Albedo as well, for all those people who summon for Albedo. Yes, we will. So we also have his next passive, right? Homuncular Nature. Using Rite of Progenitor, Tectonic Tide increases the elemental mastery of nearby party members by 25% for 10 seconds. So once you use this elemental burst, guys, you're increasing everyone's elemental mastery by 125%. 125 for 10 seconds, guys. So this character is absolutely, as you can see, one hell of a unit, and he is going to be good. Both of these units are actually going to be really good. That's why I'm here to help you decide which ones should you get. So as you do know, I want to also look at something about GANYU real quick, right? So her elemental skill has a 12-second cooldown. Now that's not bad, right? That isn't bad, but for how long it stays out? It stays out for 6 seconds, meaning you'd basically have a 6-second cooldown. So that's not really bad, guys. This is actually really good, considering that she has her normal attacks, which can sub in for those 6 seconds for the charge level 2, which fires off a Frost Flake arrow that deals cryo damage, and the Frost Flake blooms after hitting its target, dealing AoE cryo damage. That is really good. She can stall for her elemental skill to come back, and it only takes 6 seconds basically, right? Since you're, the cooldown's 12 seconds, and then the duration of it is 6 seconds, so then you have 6 seconds left. And the multipliers aren't that bad, okay? The inherited HP and then the skill damage, 300. It's not bad at all. And then we also have her multipliers for elemental burst, which are not the highest because of the fact that it also costs a lot of energy, as you can see, 80. They're not the highest multipliers, but as you know, it's gonna do like a lot of damage. It's gonna like rain down charge. It's not like it's hitting once like everybody else's elemental burst, or like it's not gonna hit once like Albedo's burst. It's just gonna continuously rain down, which is why the multiplier isn't gonna be at 800. Imagine a multiplier at 800% that continuously hits the target. No, that's literally gonna destroy everything. So that would be extremely broken. So the multiplier has to be low, right? So that is her cooldowns. It will not that is her cooldowns. And it's really good. Both of them are extremely good units. But at the end of the day, which one should you summon for? Let's just get right to the chase. Which one would you benefit more from? It's really not more of what you would benefit more from. It's about what you enjoy the most. Now, if you have Zhongli, and you want Albedo too, it's up to you. You just spent all your Geo resources on Zhongli, most likely though. And honestly, Albedo is good, but at the same time, GANYU is offering a lot as well with cryo damage comp. And you don't seem to realize how important cryo damage comp is. Y'all, this is a really strong team comp. As you know, Geo doesn't really, you have to build a team around Geo depending on what type of Geo you want to use him for, DPS or support. You have to build a team around him. And if you want to make this your main DPS, as you do know, your only reaction is going to be crystallized to gain that shield, which means you're going to have to build something around it to make that shield be able to support the team or support you. So it's going to basically be something like Zhongli, guys, or you could just use him as a support. It's up to you. But if you want a DPS, new support, GANYU's the way to go. And for her crazy cryo damage multipliers on this right here, on her Ascension, it's absolutely mad. Like, I'm still thinking about it. Like, her multipliers are insane. Like 38.4% cryo damage bonus for her Ascension. Like, I know she's like one of the illuminated beasts. I know that, but like, it's just crazy that they just made her a little bit powerful. You know what I'm saying? And then our multipliers are extremely good. Okay, but yeah, so that's really about it. Which should you summon for? Without a doubt, who I'm summoning for and who I think you should summon for is GANYU. And the reason of that being is her versatility. Her damage and cryo numbers is absolutely unmatched. You're like, that is going to be insane. I'm telling you. You build her with cryo damage, crit damage, and attack percent on the new 1.2 Blizzard set. It's over. That is it. She's going to slap like crazy. And for the craziest thing is, I'm going to go over this real quick. I'm going to go over her set in the next video, but I want to just say a little hint. The Blizzard Strayer set 4-piece basically says, once you hit somebody and inflict them with cryo, your crit rate is increased by 20%. Once you freeze the enemy, your crit rate is increased by an additional 20%. Meaning, you have 40% increased crit rate, right? You have that 40% increased crit rate if they're frozen, right? And then, after firing a Frost Flake arrow, which inflicts cryo, guys, realize this. It inflicts cryo, and if they have Hydro status on them, that freezes them. Meaning, you would proc the passive of the 4-piece set of the Blizzard Strayer set. Meaning, you'd have 40% increased crit rate, right? And then, the next arrow that you shoot from the Frost Flake, the next one will have increased 20% crit rate for 5 seconds. And the resulting bloom effect is increased by 20% as well. So, guys, you're literally going to be a walking crit damage, crit rate, cryo, freezing, shatter machine. And that's why I'm saying she's going to be extremely broken. Now, yes, don't get me wrong, Albedo is going to be a unit as well. But like I said, GANYU has the versatility. GANYU has, like, she could be on multiple teams. She could do Super Conda. She can do Melt. She can do Shatter, Freeze. It's just so many possibilities with this unit, guys, that it makes it just It makes it so versatile and so good. And then her multipliers being this high for cryo damage is broken. And I'm probably definitely summoning her now that I know her cryo damage multipliers. And now I know that she's basically meant for the 1.2 Dragon Spine Blizzard Strayer set that's going to come out when she comes out, basically, right? So I hope that she is the first banner so we can summon on this banner. That would be extremely cool. But yes, out of both of them, which should you summon for? GANYU is the answer, guys. I'm pretty sure you all knew this. Or some of you are probably going to state that ALBEDO is the answer. Well, at the end of the day, this is really an opinion on how you play the game. It depends on how you play the game. You play the game how you enjoy it. So there is no best anything, okay? It's best to you. That's it, right? So, GANYU is who I think everybody should summon for. But you let me know down in the comment section below why, if you think ALBEDO is someone you should prioritize over GANYU. Why should you prioritize him? Let me know down in the comment section below. I would love to hear the answers, right? Like I said, though, you guys should really opt for GANYU. Like, in my opinion, you should opt for GANYU. And she's, like y'all said, she's the waifu. Not only is she the waifu, but she's really a strong OP waifu that will slap you. So, I definitely can't wait for this unit. I can't wait for ALBEDO as well. I'm probably going to get ALBEDO as well. Y'all already know how this goes. I get all the units. I'm going to do a box showcase soon, showcasing all my units in my box from my pay-to-play account. And yeah, so that was really about it for this video. I do hope you enjoyed this, and I hope this gave you some insight on what you should actually do, what you should summon for, and like which one you would want to summon for, because I gave a lot of details on both the units. So I hope that this helps you come to a conclusion for yourself. But if you choose my conclusion, congrats to you. You're going to be getting a lot. If you choose ALBEDO, congrats to you. You're enjoying the game. So anyway, guys, thank you for watching, and I hope this did help you, like I said. And if you are new here, make sure you smash that subscribe button down below. Join the subscribers and grind to 1,500, guys. Join us. Join the Whisker family, the Whisker gang. Whisker gang on top. Y'all already know. And also smash the like button down below. But alright, without further ado, guys, I will catch you in the next video. Peace out.